Welcome to our online chemistry class. Our topic is alcohols, phenols, and ether. So, our next point from this topic is the ethers. So, ethers are the derivative of hydrocarbons in which a hydrogen atom is replaced by an alkoxy OR an alloxy OAR group. So, this ether may also be considered as compounds formed by substituting the hydrogen atom of hydroxyl group of an alcohol ROH or a phenol AROH by an alkyl or aryl group. There is one another definition. Ethers are organic derivatives of water having two alkyl or aryl group bonded to divalent oxygen atom, or these ethers may also be considered as alkyl oxide or aryl oxide, that is R2O or Ar2O. So what is the functional group of ethers? It is dash C O dash C, that is the ether linkage. And how will you represent these ethers? What is the general formula? It is ROR dash. If R is equal to CnH2n plus 1 and R dash is also CnH2n plus 1, then how will you represent this? CnH2n plus 2O. So this is the another general representation of your alkyl ethers, or you can represent pure aryl ethers as ARO AR dash. Then next one is the classification. We can classify your ethers into two groups as following. First is simple or symmetric ethers. Second is mixed or unsymmetric ethers. So what is first type? It is simple or symmetric ethers. The ethers in which both the alkyl or aryl groups attached to oxygen atoms are same. Here example is given: CH3O CH3, CH3O CH3. So both the groups are same and they are methyl, so use the word di because they are two in number. So dimethyl ether is the name for that compound. Then another example, if we use C6H5 means phenyl groups attached to oxygen, then the name is diphenyl ether. Then the second type is mixed or unsymmetric ether. What is that? The ethers in which two alkyl or aryl groups attached to divalent oxygen atoms are different, and then they are called as mixed ether. So one is CH3, another is C2H5. CH3 is methyl, C2H5 is ethyl. Arrange them in their alphabetical order. So what is the name? Ethyl methyl ether. So these two groups attached to oxygen are different. Or here both are alkyl groups. If one is alkyl, another is aryl, alkyl is methyl, aryl is phenyl, so name is methyl phenyl ether. So your compound is C6H5OCH3. So this is about the classification. Now we go towards the nomenclature of ethers. So common names, how to write the common names? Simple ethers can be are named as dialkyl ethers or diaryl ethers. The common names of mixed ethers are obtained by entering the names of alkyl or aryl group as separate word in alphabetical order followed by the word ethers. Then how will you write the IUPAC names? So according to this IUPAC system, ethers are considered as derivatives of hydrocarbons, in which a hydrogen atom is replaced by dash OR means alkoxy or dash OAR araloxy group. In this mixed ether, the alkyl group containing larger carbon chain is considered as a parent alkane. So let us see some example. It is in front of you. CH3O CH3, both are same, so they are two in number, so use the word di. CH3 means methyl, so name is dimethyl ether. Then how will you write the IUPAC name? Now both the alkyl groups are same and it contains one carbon, so one carbon alkane is methane, so parent compound is methane, and CH3O is the another group attached to that group, so it is methoxymethane. Okay, now one group is CH3, another group is C2H5. So CH3 means methyl, C2H5 means ethyl. Arrange them in their alphabetical order, so common name becomes ethyl methyl ether. How will you write the IUPAC name of this? So now two different groups are attached to divalent oxygen atom. One is CH3, so it is smaller group, so write down CH3O as a alkoxy group, that is methane methoxy, and C2H5 means 2 carbon alkane is ethane, so parent compound is ethane, so what is the IUPAC name of this compound? Methoxyethane. Okay, then in next compound CH3O CH2 CH2 CH3, now one alkyl group is CH3 means one carbon, so methyl, and it is attached with oxygen, so it is lower group, so methoxy. Then 3 carbon group is 3 carbon is in chain, so N propyl. So according to common name system, M and P consider, not N, from N propyl, so alphabetically M first, so methyl N propyl ether is the common name. Then 3 carbon alkane is propane, and 1 carbon alkyl group is methyl attached with oxygen is methoxy, so 1 methoxypropane. Write down this carbon as a carbon number 1, so 1 number is here because your alkoxy group is attached to this carbon directly, so that carbon is carbon number 1, and then write down the numbering from left to right. CH2, this one, this 2, and this 3. Then here C6H5O CH3, one is methyl, another is phenyl, so common name is methyl phenyl ether. It is also known as anisole, and lower carbon group is CH3, so methoxy, and C6 carbon aromatic compound is benzene, so methoxybenzene is the IUPAC name. Now in this case, this CH2 carbon is attached to oxygen and it contains 3 carbon, so it is N propyl and it is phenyl, so phenyl N propyl ether is your common name. Then this carbon in benzene ring are 6 in number and this is 3 carbons, so lower group is this one and it is attached to first carbon of benzene ring, so 1 propoxy benzene. Then in this case you have to write the numbering to which carbon. So this is a bigger group and you have to write the numbering, so your OCH3 carbon is carbon number 2 and this carbon which having 2 CH3 groups are carbon number 1, so 1 2 3 and 4, so 4 carbon ring is present, and the name is 2-methoxy 1,1-dimethyl cyclobutane. Okay, so this is about the nomenclature. I think this name is wrong, and you have to write this as a carbon number 1 because it contains a functional group carbon. Okay, this is a carbon number 1 and this is a carbon number 2. This is a carbon number 2. Okay, because functional group is present on this carbon, so this carbon is carbon number 1. So change the numbering to 1 methoxy to 2 dimethyl cyclobutane. Okay, this is about the nomenclature. Now next is the methods of preparation. So we can prepare your ethers from alcohols. What is the name of reaction? Intermolecular dehydration of alcohol. So dehydration means removal of water. So when excess of ethyl alcohol is distilled with concentrated sulfuric acid at 413 Kelvin, then it gives diethyl ether. So reaction is in front of you. 2 moles of ethanol or ethyl alcohol react with concentrated sulfuric acid at 413 Kelvin. We get ethoxyethane or diethyl ether plus water. So it is not written on right hand side, it is written on arrow with minus sign. So it is a byproduct. Then next reaction is, so if you observe the details of this reaction, then in this reaction H2SO4 is regenerated, and that's why it is called as continuous etherification process. During this reaction also water is one of the byproduct, and if it does not remove from product side, again that react with this ether and we get ethyl alcohol back. So that's why we have to use concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, so this is about the reaction. Then you have to keep the temperature 413, then and then we get a ether. But if we take higher temperature 453 Kelvin, then we get elimination product, and then we get what is the elimination product? Tell me this elimination product in your comment box while solving the questions related to this, and write down the product. Now next reaction is from alkyl halides. So I'll give the hint to this previous reaction. If it is 453, we get alkene as a product. Now next reaction is from alkyl halide, and it is also known as Williamson synthesis. So simple as well as mixed ethers can be prepared by this method. When an alkyl halide is heated with alcoholic sodium or potassium alkoxide, it gives corresponding ether. So here we use sodium alkoxide. So first your alcohol react with sodium metal, then this hydrogen get replaced by Na, and if you take two molecules, one hydrogen combined with another hydrogen and it goes with as a bimolecule as a H2, and what is left behind? RONA, that is called as sodium alkoxide. So how to write the reaction? RX means alkyl halide react with RONA, sodium alkoxide gives ROR. So we get simple ether if both R groups are same, and if they are different then we get a mixed ether, but both it is a alkyl ether. If alkyl halide RX react with ARONA, means your alkoxide is from aromatic type, then ROAR type is the product. So alkyl aryl ether is the product plus NaX. So what is the reaction? One reaction is in front of you. So when methyl chloride is heated with alcoholic sodium methoxide, it gives dimethyl ether as a product, and byproduct is NaCl. So we get a simple ether. But when methyl iodide is treated with sodium phenoxide, then we get CH3O C6H5. So it is anisole methyl phenyl ether plus NaI is the byproduct. So this is about the reaction. So this is the reaction by which we can convert phenol into ether. So phenol is first converted into sodium phenoxide, then we write a reaction with methyl iodide, then we get ethyl phenyl ether. So this is the reaction, or it is also known as an anisole. Okay, then one more thing that we have to remember regarding to this reaction is when alkyl halide is methyl bromide and alkoxide is sodium tertiary butoxide, means CH3 thrice CO minus Na plus, then our expectation is CH3 thrice CO CH3 tertiary butyl methyl ether and NaBr. Okay, but instead of getting ether, if your alkyl halide is secondary or tertiary alkyl halide, then the reaction leads mainly to alkene, and it is formed by beta elimination reaction. So when your alkyl halide is, so now check, in previous case your lower group means primary group is a alkyl halide, and if you take sodium tertiary butoxide means higher alkyl group, secondary or tertiary is in the alkoxide, then we get ether. But if we exchange these groups, or if we take this tertiary group in alkyl halide, let us see, tertiary butyl chloride, and smaller group considered as alkoxide like sodium methoxide, then we can't get ether. So here the reason behind that is the bigger size of this group, and due to the bigger size of this tertiary butyl group, this carbon is surrounded by this CH3, and your C2H5O, which acts as a nucleophile, cannot reach to this carbon. So instead of attacking on this carbon, it will abstract the hydrogen from your beta carbon. This is alpha carbon, next that is beta. So hydrogen is removed from this beta carbon, by this C2H5O group, and we get a double bond between this alpha and beta carbon. So instead of getting ether, we get alkene as a product. So when you have to prepare ethers from secondary or tertiary alkyl halide, then don't prefer that tertiary alkyl halide as a alkyl halide. Prefer that as a alkoxide group. Okay, and one more hint is that aryl halide do not give the Williamson synthesis. Okay, so this is about the reaction. Okay, in this way there is a removal of hydrogen from beta carbon and reaction takes place. Double bond between this alpha and beta carbon. So here we get a double bond between them, and C2H5OH and NaCl. So this is the beta elimination reaction, and the previous one is the SN2 reaction. Then next one is the chemical properties of ethers. Before that, we will see the physical properties of alcohols. So let us see the physical state and boiling point. Dimethyl ether, ethyl methyl ethers are gases. Other ethers are also colorless liquids with pleasant or sweet odor. Lower ethers are highly volatile, their boiling point is low, and highly inflammable substance, so it catches the fire. So next one is the boiling point. If we increase the molecular mass, the boiling point increases. So dimethyl ether 248, ethyl methyl ether 284, diethyl ether 308. Then next physical property is the polarity and solubility. Since COC bond angle is 110 and not 180, means they are not linear. The bond dipole moment of the two CO bond do not cancel each other. They are not at 180 degree. Bond angle is different. Like this, if you observe this structure, the bond angle is like this. It is 110. So the bond dipole moment due to this RO bond, it cannot be cancelled by dipole moment of another RO bond. So net bond dipole moment is like this, and due to that it is polar in nature. It is not non-polar. So weak polarity of ether does not affect their boiling points, which are about the same as those of alkanes, but having comparable molecular mass, but they are having less boiling point than the alcohols. So reason behind that is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Such a type of intermolecular hydrogen bonding is absent in case of ethers, but it is present in case of alcohol. Many time question may be asked in your exam. Boiling point of alcohols are greater than that of ethers. The reason is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So here molecular mass of some compounds are given having nearly same molecular mass: N-pentane, methyl N-pentyl ether and N-hexyl alcohol, but the boiling point is 371, 373, 430. So check the boiling point of alcohol, it is greater than that of ethers, and the boiling point of hydrocarbon like alkanes is similar to your ether. So reason is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And due to that, alcohol molecules together strongly. So here we can observe the intermolecular hydrogen bonding of that ether with water, and that's why they are soluble in water or miscible in water. but two molecules of ether cannot form such type of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That's why their boiling point is lower than that of alcohol. You can check, but there is a intermolecular hydrogen bonding in case of alcohol. But these molecules of ethers can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water, so they are soluble in or miscible in water at lower molecular mass or comparable molecular mass. So for example, diethyl ether and N-butyl ether and N-butyl alcohol have respective miscibility of 7.5 and 9 gram per 100 gram of water. So this is about the physical property. Again, we turns to our next point, that is chemical properties of ethers. So first property is laboratory test. So ethers are neutral in nature, and if we use aqueous medium, means water as a solvent, they are neutral in nature. They do not react with cold, acid, base, reducing agent, oxidizing agent, active alkali metals such as sodium, but they can dissolve in cold concentrated sulfuric acid, and when they dissolve they form oxonium ion. So see the reaction. Ether react with sulfuric acid gives ROR-H. So that oxygen is bonded with hydrogen from your acid and it carrying positive charge plus HSO4 minus. Hydrogen sulfate ion balance that positive charge with its negative charge. So this is the laboratory test. They can dissolve in cold concentrated sulfuric acid. Now we have to see the next part, that is reaction involving alkyl group of ether. So first reaction is formation of peroxide. So when diethyl ether react with oxygen on long contact with air or pure oxygen, then the carbon alkyl group carbon get oxidized and we get a peroxide link to that carbon. So CH3CHO2H and OC2H5 as it is. So we obtain a peroxide of pure ether. So all ethers exposed to air to form such a type of peroxide, and they are hazardous because of they decompose violently at high temperature. Then next reaction is reaction involving CO bond. So first reaction is hydrolysis of your ethers, or same hydrolysis can be carried out by action of hot and dilute sulfuric acid, H2SO4 acid, and your product is the alcohol. So when simple ethers on heating with dilute sulfuric acid under pressure gives only one type of alcohol. So ROR react with water in presence of acid dilute H2SO4. Here it can be written as H2O plus H plus from acid gives H3O plus. So when we heat the mixture we get only one type of alcohol. So diethyl ether gives ethyl alcohol, dimethyl ether gives methyl alcohol. But if you take the mixed ether ROR dash, then we get two different types of alcohols. So let us suppose your one alkyl group is CH3 and another alkyl group is C2H5. Then what we get here, CH3OH and the another alkyl group is C2H5OH. So we get methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol as a product. Okay. So this is about the hydrolysis of ether, and what we get alcohol as a product. Then next reaction is reaction with PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. So when ether is heated with phosphorus pentachloride, then what we get alkyl chloride. If it is simple ether, we get only one type of alkyl chloride and phosphoryl chloride. And if your ether is mixed ether, then we get two different types of alkyl chloride. So let us see the reaction. If R and R dash is same, CH3O CH3 react with PCl5 on heating the mixture, what we get? We get only one type of alkyl chloride, that is CH3Cl plus POCl3. So for balancing, write down 2, and what is your product? Methyl chloride. So when we have to prepare alkyl chloride from ether, you have to write the reaction with PCl5. Now next reaction is reaction with hot and concentrated acid. So when ether reacts with hot and concentrated hydroiodic acid or hydrogen bromide, then it gives an alcohol and alkyl halide. So what is the order of reactivity of that hydrogen halide? It is HI is most reactive than HBr. HBr is more reactive than HCl because HI bond is weaker, so reactivity is higher. So when ether react with HI or HX, what we get? We get alkyl halide and alcohol. And then again, if we use excess of HX, that alcohol also react with HX and it gives another molecule of alkyl halide, because we already learned this reaction in alcohols. So what is the example? If we take ethyl methyl ether react with HI, hydrogen iodide, what do we get? Methyl iodide plus ethyl alcohol. And this ethyl alcohol, when react with excess of HX or HI, what we get? We get water as a byproduct and iodine get attached to C2H5. So overall reaction, if we take the ether CH3O C2H5, we get CH3I and C2H5I. So when we obtain both as a alkyl halide, when we use excess of hydrogen iodide and if we heat the mixture, okay. If it is at cold condition, we get only first step and second step is not proceed. So carried out second conversion, we have to use excess of HI and we have to heat the mixture. So see the mechanism of this reaction. Ether react with HI. So first there is a protonation of this O because there is a two lone pair over this oxygen. So one lone pair is used to react with H. The bond between H and I goes towards the iodine and it get converted to I minus, that is nucleophile, and that hydrogen without electron get attached to oxygen. So electron of oxygen, that is a lone pair, is used to form bond with oxygen and H. That's why oxygen carrying positive charge. So it is a protonated ether. And in second step, that free I minus, which acts as a nucleophile, will attack on electron deficient carbon. So it will attack on smaller alkyl group carbon. So here CH3 group will be the smaller group. So I will be attack on CH3, and if you observe, this is like your SN2 reaction mechanism. So I will attach to CH3 and remaining group is OH C2H5. So the negative charge is partially distributed over this I minus and partial positive charge get balanced with oxygen. So and then complete breaking of O CH3 bond, what do we get? CH3I plus CH3 CH2 OH. Okay, so we get alkyl iodide and ethyl alcohol as a product. Okay, so all of you understood this reaction. Next is when aryl alkyl ethers react with HI at high temperature such as 398 Kelvin, then we have to break O alkyl carbon bond and not O aryl carbon bond. So OCH3 bond undergo cleavage, and what we get? That CH3 react with I, we get CH3I methyl iodide, and H get added to oxygen, so we get a phenol. Remember that when methyl phenyl ether or anisole react with HI, always we get a phenol as a alcohol. Always as a hydroxy compound. It is not alcohol. And methyl iodide as a alkyl halide. So do not change the groups. Do not prepare CH3OH, that is methyl alcohol, and iodobenzene. So that is wrong product. Now next reactions are electrophilic substitution in aromatic ether. So now you have to break O C bond, but not from OR bond, but it is from OAR carbon bond. So alkoxy group is electron donating group. So what is the reason behind that? There are two lone pair over that oxygen, and due to that they activated the aromatic ring. So if we transfer the lone pair or oxygen towards this benzene ring, then in first structure there is a double bond between oxygen and carbon, and negative charge is transferred towards the ortho position. So first ortho position is negatively charged in second resonating structure, and if we write again one more resonating structure, in third structure para position is negatively charged. Again we observe the next resonating structure, the next ortho position is negatively charged in fourth structure, and again that electron goes towards the more electronegative oxygen in the fifth resonating structure. So if you observe structure number 2 and structure number 4, ortho positions are electron rich, means negatively charged, electron density is more, and in case of third structure the para position is more electron rich, or electron density is deposited over that para position. So alkoxy group donates the electron towards the benzene ring, so they increases the electron density towards the aromatic ring, so they activated the ring, and ortho and para position becomes electron rich, so they are ortho para directed. Now if we have to write the reactions of this anisole or aromatic ether, then the reactions are electrophilic substitution reaction. So we have to substitute OR group. We have to substitute the hydrogen from ortho and para position, and that substitution are called as electrophilic substitution. So let us see the reaction. First is halogenation, substitution of hydrogen of benzene ring by halogen, here bromine, so name of the reaction is bromination. We can substitute the hydrogen from ortho and para position. So what we get? We get a mixture of ortho bromo anisole, para bromo anisole. Okay, so among that, as OCH3 and Br are bulkier group and they are negatively charged groups, so they, if they are present exactly opposite, then that is more stable. So higher percentage of para bromo anisole is obtained, near about 90%. So this is the major product, and ortho bromo anisole is in only 10%. So don't forget to balance the equation. So write down 2:2 the byproduct. Then next reaction is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So alkylation means substitution of alkyl group. So when the hydrogen of this benzene ring at ortho and para position substituted by this alkyl group, here we substitute it by CH3 methyl group. So alkylation is methylation. So to carry out this reaction we have to use anhydrous AlCl3, and again we can substitute the hydrogen from ortho and para position. So what is the product? we get 2-methoxytoluene and 4-methoxytoluene. Among that, 4-methoxytoluene is the major product. Reason is same. And for writing the balance equation, write down 2 moles of anisole react with methyl chloride 2 moles. What we get? Mixture of 2-methoxytoluene and 4-methoxytoluene plus byproduct is 2 times of HCl. Here byproduct is different. It is not H2, it is HCl. This is the byproduct. And write down here 2 moles of we have to take 2 moles of methyl iodide. Okay. Remember the balancing the equation correctly. Then if we substitute the acyl group CH3CO group, that is a acetyl group. So what is the CH3COCl reagent? Acetyl chloride react with anisole in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. So hydrogen from ortho and para position get substituted by the COCH3 group, means acetyl group. So your compound becomes, so remember that one function group is CO, means ketonic, another is dash O dash, means ether. So ketonic function group has first priority than ether group. So now your first carbon is this carbon and this carbon is the fourth carbon. So this has a prefix word 4-methoxy and your ketone is acetophenone. So the name of your product is 4-methoxy acetophenone. Here this carbon is carbon number 1, this is the carbon number 2, because ketonic function group always on carbon number 1. So 2-methoxy acetophenone. Check the previous name also. Now here ether and alkyl group. So there is only one function group. So this has a carbon number 1 and this has a carbon number 4. This has a carbon number 1 and this has a carbon number 4. So remember the difference between these two. So 4-methoxy acetophenone is the major product. Again write down 2HCl for balancing the purpose. And next one is the nitration. When 2 moles of anisole react with nitrating mixture. What is the nitrating mixture? Mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. So hydrogen at ortho and para positions are substituted by NO2 group. So we get 4-nitroanisole and 2-nitroanisole. Among that, 4-nitroanisole is the major product plus water molecules 2 times. So remember this. So this is about the reactions of ethers. Now uses of alcohols, phenols and ethers. So first alcohol, Methyl alcohol is used as a solvent for paint and varnishes. So it is used in paint. So all are familiar with the word turpentine. So it is used while painting purposes. Then ethyl alcohol is used as a solvent and antifreeze agent in automobile radiator. In car radiator, it is used as a solvent or antifreezing agent. Then phenol is used in the preparation of phenol formaldehyde resin. So the example of this type of resin is bakelite. Bakelite is the example of this type. So it is one of the type of plastic. Okay, you can check this in polymer topic. Then it is used as antiseptic in deodorant, mouthwash, floor cleaners and air room fresheners. Then next is ethers. Diethyl ether was used as a general anesthetic agent in surgical operation in old days. Then another use is it is used as a solvent for Grignard reagent, fats, waxes and oils. So this is about the topic. So my YouTube channel is Mukesh Kharge. Subscribe, like and share. Thank you very much.